Hey everybody, welcome to Fragrance Explorer. My name's Robert, and today we're going to be taking a look at Dolce & Gabbana's The One, so let's get started. A couple of weeks ago, I did a review of 4 fantastic fall fragrances, and one of the fragrances that was on my list I hadn't done a standalone review on before. So today I want to circle back and do a detailed review of The One from Dolce & Gabbana. Dolce & Gabbana's The One in EDP concentration is a spicy, woody fragrance that was introduced in 2015. Now, the EDT formulation of this fragrance was originally introduced in 2008, and it became a classic masculine fragrance almost instantaneously. The EDP version was released in 2015, and it was intended to be a more dense, enhanced version of the original without really changing the fragrance in any major perceptible way. Consequently, it isn't a flanker, it's really a re-release of the same fragrance with a higher ratio of parfum essential oils to perfumer's alcohol. So let's take a look at the note breakdown. In the top, we have grapefruit, coriander, and basil. In the heart, we have ginger, cardamom, and orange blossom. And in the base, we get amber, tobacco, and cedar. When I purchased The One, I was really excited to wear it. This is one that a friend of mine had really hyped up, and I had seen a bunch of reviews that really sensationalized this fragrance. And to be honest, my first impression was somewhat underwhelming. I thought to myself, what's the big deal? Why does everybody like this fragrance? It's really not that great. So I put it on the shelf for about a year and thought I wouldn't really wear it that much. And I probably wouldn't review it because I don't like being negative on my channel. I don't like to beat up on fragrances. So I just let it set for a while. Then we got a spat of cooler weather in the evenings, and I gave this fragrance another try. And I'm glad I gave it another chance because upon a second, third, and fourth wearing, it really started to grow on me. For me, it became a sleeper hit that snuck up on me. And recently, I found myself wearing it several times a week with the cooler fall weather. One thing about EDP concentrations of fragrances as opposed to EDT is that the lower concentration of perfumer's alcohol tends to reduce the sillage even though it extends the longevity. Now, in an EDT concentration, it has more perfumer's alcohol, which typically has higher volatility and evaporates faster than the perfume oils do. And that leads to a bigger scent cloud during the opening when compared to an EDP concentration of a fragrance. Consequently, the One EDP isn't as loud during the opening as its predecessor. Now, the One has grapefruit in the opening, which is not uncommon in fragrances, and what really provides some differentiation is the inclusion of coriander, which is a spice that's reminiscent of white pepper with a sweetness that I liken to a very mild anise or black licorice, and it's almost imperceptibly woody. Now, in addition to the spice of the coriander, we also have basil in the opening, which is an herbal aromatic that sits somewhere between bay leaf and mint. It's not quite as camphorous as bay leaf, and it's not quite as cooling and green and peppery as mint. It sets somewhere between those two, imparting some aspects of both while not being as strong as either. Now, in the heart of the fragrance, we have a blend of ginger, cardamom, and orange blossom that are sweet and mildly spicy, and they're tinged with hints of balsam pine. Now, the heart notes remind me of Bigelow Constant Comment tea. Now, all of this mild spice and sweetness, it rides on top of a gentlemanly, urbane base of amber, sweet tobacco, and cedar. Now, I've garnered a genuine affinity for this fragrance upon repeated wearings, and as I said before, it's gone into fairly regular rotation with the cooler weather that we've been having. Now, even though the EDP formulation is intended to be better performing than the original release of the One in EDT concentration, the performance is really not that earth-shattering. The sillage sits somewhere between moderate and intimate, and the longevity is just average. Now, when I wear this fragrance, I usually take the bottle with me and I keep it in the console of my car so that I can refresh it after around 3 hours of wear. So it's not that great of a performer. Now, layering is one of the things that I've been mentioning lately in the videos, and ideas for layering of fragrances to establish your own unique blend. Now, the One is a great base fragrance to experiment with layering. One option that I've talked about in previous videos is layering this with CK1 Shock. Because CK1 Shock is a tobacco-based fragrance, the notes blend well and they don't clash. Now, a second cheapie that I haven't reviewed yet that blends really amiably with the One is Original Penguin for Men. The neroli complements the orange blossom in the One, and the vanilla that's in here sweetens up the amber and tobacco in the base. Now, Original Penguin has been reformulated since it was first introduced, and it isn't quite as long-lasting as it used to be. But it still has this engaging composition that adorns the notes that are found in the One quite charmingly. It's a bit on the synthetic side, but if you go easy on the application, they complement each other quite well. So final thoughts, Dolce & Gabbana's The One is a classic masculine fragrance. It's elegant, it's stately, it's extremely versatile for wearing during the cooler months, and it's just as at home for daytime wear to the office in a business casual setting as it is paired with evening attire. I love this fragrance, and it's become a staple of my collection that I turn to regularly when I need something that's mature and understated. Hey guys, thanks for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed this review. This week I recorded the video using some vintage lenses that were made from the 1960s. It's actually a lens that my dad brought back from his time serving in the service during Vietnam, and I inherited that lens and I've adapted it to the camera system. And so if you liked the video this week, let me know in the comments. I'd like to know how the footage looked to you, if you thought that the video was good. It's, like I said, it's a vintage lens from Pentax from the 1960s, and I adapted it to my camera. So hopefully the video looks good, but let me know what you think about it. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.